Welcome back to Swoley Cannoli, where we're all about playing games and getting gains. On today's episode of Joystick Judgment, we're talking about Cuphead, as well as the delicious Last Course DLC, developed by Studio MDHR, that released in 2017. We're going to rate this game on a scale of 1 through 10, based on the music, story, visuals, gameplay, and length, where each area can score a maximum of 2 points. So let's jump right into it with the music first. Now, I want you to close your eyes, take a listen, and tell me what you see.
I'm Mr. King Dice. I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice. I'm the devil's right-hand man. I can't let you pass, 'cause you ain't done everything. Bring me those contracts, come on, bring them to the king.
I see a couple of troublemakers making a deal with the devil and paying for it with their freedom, and being forced to take on epic battles in order to collect unpaid debts by other sorry souls unlucky enough to also have crossed the devil's path. And that's essentially what you get with Cuphead. I can't stress enough how amazing the jazz band sounds as the background music for these high-intensity boss battles. How appropriate to hear the saxophone and trumpet and drums all duking it out while you throw hands. And all the little sound effects make every maneuver feel satisfying. The jumping noises you make to narrowly avoid a barrage of projectiles, the aggressive slap of your perfectly timed parries, that cha-ching cash register noise played before every brawl, and the wave of relief you feel when you finally hear that boxing match style announcer tell you that you got a knockout. To put it simply, your ears will thank you for this experience. I'm giving this section a 2 out of 2. On to the story. The story here is decent, but is probably this title's biggest weakness. It's not bad, but it pales in comparison to how masterfully done every other aspect of this game is. Our protagonists are just a couple of young mugs making a deal with the devil and mistakenly thinking they'd come out on top. After Cuphead loses a gamble in the casino with the man down under, he and his brother Mugman have to go around to a bunch of different islands collecting soul contracts to bring back to the devil in exchange for keeping their souls. And to do so, they have to defeat each of these debtors in combat. To move on to each new area, you'll have to collect all the soul contracts before the devil's right-hand man, King Dice, will let you pass. There's not too much story in between all these battles, but I do appreciate how it's presented to us in a picture book style without any voice acting to give it that extra vintage feel. And the story in the DLC is more of the same, but this time you get Miss Chalice as a new playable character, and this edition had a nice little twist that I wasn't expecting. Oh, and the story of how this game was made is even better. The idea for Cuphead came from two brothers who made a gamble of their own by going all in on this project by quitting their jobs, remortgaging their homes, just to fund this project, which was, by the way, the first video game they had ever created. That is wild. I would never have guessed it with how polished this game felt, but if we're rating just based on the story of the game here, I'm going to give this section a 1 out of 2. On to the visuals. Listen. When it comes to art direction, Cuphead is in a league of its own. Almost no other game looks like this. I equally love and hate the visual feedback you get after every death with a progress bar showing just how close you were to winning. If you get over a dozen screens that look like this, you might want to take a break for the night because you got work tomorrow and you don't want to show up with that much pent-up anger. You might just end your shift in a fist fight with a customer. Now look at you, a bad gamer and unemployed. I love the dedication of the artist for capturing that hand-drawn 1930s rubber hose cartoon aesthetic. As someone who has dabbled in hand-drawn animation myself, hats off to you. The attention to detail here is unparalleled. The devs even intentionally kept messing up the colors of Cuphead's outfit as a nod to mistakes made in old animated shows. And I like the film grain filter overlaid onto the gameplay to give that authentic analog feeling. The presentation is too clean, and I can't gush about it all day, so we do have to move on. I'm giving this section a 2 out of 2. On to the gameplay. I can't tell if I enjoyed my time fighting these boss battles, or if the visuals and music were so hypnotizing that it compelled me to just keep going. I think this may be the most difficult title I've beaten that wasn't a puzzle game. Have you heard the saying, the beatings will continue until morale improves? Yeah, They were talking about this game. It's nothing but boss battle after unforgiving boss battle, with a few platforming levels in between which also feel like torture. I'm not a masochist, so I didn't touch any of the expert levels, but if pain is your thing, then go for it. And that Queen Bee boss, after like an hour and a half straight of failed attempts, I was like, yep, put me in the air fryer, bro, cause your boy cooked. It wasn't until I realized how important some items were in the shop that I could even make some progress. It is really nice all the different items you can equip and swap out to find what build works for you. Shout out to the chaser shot for saving my cheeks, cause I was about to quit this game for good. It's really thoughtful that the developers let you play co-op so that way you and your homie can cry together after losing to the same boss 50 times in a row. I'm giving this section a 2 out of 2. On to the length. If this game took any longer to beat, I might have literally just passed away from exhaustion. I'm a proud member of the Super Weenie Hut Juniors Club, and I've never even beaten a Souls game, so maybe that's why my skills are so weak and this game feels so tough and it dragged on for so long. The main game and the DLC will probably take you about 15 hours to beat at a minimum, and although that might not seem like a lot of time, it will when you realize it's nearly just back-to-back boss battles with only a couple of platforming levels and dialogue in between. You'll be hitting that retry button quite a bit until you learn each enemy's fight patterns. Oh, and if you ever want to know how many times you've died, there's a cute little fountain that'll be keeping track of all your failures. How nice of the developers. I'm giving this section a 2 out of 2. 3 games I would say are similar to Cuphead would be Mouse, Donkey Kong Country, and Hollow Knight. So to wrap this up, Cuphead is a bullet hell beat 'em up that will push your skills to the max. This might be the closest thing we have to a time machine in terms of reliving this style of the 1930s entertainment. You ever watch an old school cartoon as a kid and wanted to be part of the action? Well, now's your chance. The fights will get you fuming, the tunes will get you juking, and the visuals so disgustingly nice, it'll leave you puking. I'm giving Cuphead and its DLC a 9 out of 10. Cuphead is available on many platforms, but usually goes on sale on Steam for around $14. I want to thank you for tuning in today. Like the video and subscribe if you want to see more game reviews, and to those that have played this game, did you hate it? Did you love it? Comment below what exercise you did today and let me know which game I should review next. This is your host, Zach, signing off.